This video shares claims, gossip, and reactions for discussion only, not proven facts or information.
Put too much pressure on Tyler Perry. You know what I mean? He ain't put nobody on. The people that been in his productions, they not famous. All of them can walk through the mall without security.
Hollywood just reacted, and it was subtle but telling. This moment is not about a viral post or leaked message. It is about a pattern many people are starting to notice. Once it clicks, it is hard to ignore. What if fame does not lift people up but boxes them in? What if big platforms benefit more than the stars they promote? Tonight, one name is being mentioned quietly again: Teyana Taylor. Not as a success story but as part of a bigger system. This is not about talent or luck. It is about positioning, protection, and control. Allegedly, Katt Williams has hinted that this industry runs on leverage, not loyalty. Connections are business moves, not feelings. Silence holds more value than honesty. Look around and ask why so many enter powerful spaces yet leave empty-handed. The faces change, but the structure stays firm. Those who comply remain visible. Those who question fade away. This is not an attack on anyone. It is a reminder to watch who gains, who stays quiet, and why nervous reactions follow uncomfortable truths.
Because P. Diddy be wanting the body, and you gotta tell him no. You got to tell him no. I did.
Hollywood feels unsettled again. Not because of a sudden scandal or leaked evidence, but because people are quietly noticing a repeating pattern. This time, the name moving through private conversations is Teyana Taylor. It is not shouted or defended loudly. It is mentioned carefully, almost cautiously. This version of the story is not the polished one shared in interviews or press releases. It is the one discussed when cameras are gone and guards are down. Allegedly, Katt Williams has hinted that the industry does not function on passion, loyalty, or even talent alone. It runs on timing, access, and knowing when to stay silent. That idea changes how many people now view Teyana's split from Iman Shumpert. Fans saw emotional fallout in a broken marriage. Insiders reportedly saw a turning point. Iman appeared to want stability, family focus, and a slower pace. Teyana, according to whispers, wanted expansion, global reach, and deeper entry into Hollywood spaces. Two futures pulling in opposite directions rarely stay together. After the divorce, Iman struggled publicly, while Teyana stayed in motion. That contrast caught attention. Then came Aaron Pierre, a rising actor with serious credibility. Industry chatter framed that connection less as romance and more as positioning. The relationship ended, but momentum did not. Soon, speculation widened, and Leonardo DiCaprio's name surfaced through proximity, events, and elite circles. Nothing confirmed, just patterns that raised eyebrows. Later came criticism over creative choices and silence where many expected resistance. Instead of pushing back, she leaned into progress and visibility. That response made Katt Williams' warnings resonate more. In Hollywood, silence often protects opportunity. Eventually, Tyler Perry's powerful system appeared in the picture, offering structure during a vulnerable moment. Publicly, everything looked seamless. Privately, many wondered what the cost of that polish might be.
She is showing me everything that she's been able to do is really phenomenal. This woman, when I called her up to do the movie, she was like, yeah, I think I did. But she killed it. You'll see what I mean. You will see what I mean.
On the outside, it looked like guidance, support, and a fresh chance. That is how influence usually presents itself. It rarely shows up looking harsh or demanding. Critics often say that compliments can be a gentle way to steer someone, especially when they arrive during a fragile moment. When a powerful figure lifts you up while you are hurting, a quiet connection forms. Nothing needs to be signed. The pressure is emotional, not legal. From Katt Williams' alleged point of view, Tyler Perry represents more than movies or shows. He represents a structure that offers access, protection, and long-term placement. Structures come with expectations. When you move with them, doors open. When you resist, progress slows. In this version of events, Teyana did not enter that space unaware. At the same time, Tyler Perry did not extend influence without purpose. It was not a dramatic setup or a trap. It was an exchange. Exposure brought security. Support came with restraint. Everyone gained something and no one wore a cape. Then the mood changed. Once this connection became noticeable, an uncomfortable voice returned to the conversation. Jaguar Wright, a name the industry tends to dismiss, track, and quietly worry about. When she spoke again, the atmosphere shifted. Conversations grew tense. People listened closer. Something that felt settled suddenly felt unstable again.
Happened to Black Hollywood, and he did it by using stupid, ignorant, so-called Christian to fund all of his very homosexual behavior. He ain't rich.
These statements are her claims, not verified facts or proven truths. Still, they landed with force because Jaguar Wright is known for saying uncomfortable things others avoid. When she speaks, people listen even if they disagree. Her comments shifted the focus. Suddenly, Tyler Perry was no longer seen only as influence or success. He became part of a larger question. Hollywood does not fear gossip. It reacts when repeated behavior starts to look familiar. At that point, the discussion moved away from one woman's personal path and toward a wider structure. Many critics argue that the industry often places Black women into narrow roles. They are expected to appear unbreakable, overly sexualized, or endlessly resilient. When they follow the rules, doors open. Yet control never disappears. The leverage always remains in someone else's hands. Katt Williams has never painted Teyana Taylor as a villain. His message, as some interpret it, is simpler and harsher. Hollywood does not reward purity or honesty. It rewards adjustment. The sadness is not that people learn how to play along. The real loss is that leaving the game is rarely an option. Staying quiet becomes part of survival. Today, Teyana appears successful, visible, and protected. History, however, shows what often happens when silence reaches its limit. That creates an uneasy question many hesitate to ask. Is she choosing strategy, or is the structure slowly closing around her? Hollywood does not react when rumors float around. It reacts when patterns begin to match too closely. Once that happens, behavior behind closed doors changes. Calls sound different. Invitations come with conditions. Conversations require trust before honesty. When systems feel watched, they do not explain themselves. They adjust. The public image around Teyana became carefully managed. Not louder. Not defensive. Controlled. Appearances stayed polished. Messages stayed calm. There were no emotional reactions. In this world, restraint is rarely accidental. Observers say this stage is where careers are guided, not destroyed. Problems are not denied. They are redirected. What stood out most was the silence. No direct responses. No public arguments. No explanations. Work continued. Visibility increased. That raised eyebrows because forward motion after controversy usually requires approval from higher up. Momentum does not happen by chance. Many misunderstand how influence works. Power does not crush talent. It absorbs it. Once absorbed, the rules shift. Silence becomes discipline. Survival depends on staying aligned. According to the framework Katt Williams hints at, the real test begins when everything starts working again. Recovery always carries terms, even when those terms are never spoken. Quietly, the conversation around Tyler Perry changed too. Praise stayed public. Partnerships remained visible. Yet the whispers grew sharper. Not about strength, but about expectation. There are two types of influence. One lifts you up. The other keeps you locked in. When you benefit from the system benefits from your restraint. This story is no longer about individuals. It is about design. The same cycle repeats with different faces and similar results. Pain becomes branding. Growth replaces accountability. Especially for Black women, endurance is celebrated while the burden behind it is ignored. The most troubling part is not whether the claims are true. It is how believable they sound. Hollywood has trained audiences to accept imbalance and call silence maturity. This story feels unfinished, not because it is hidden, but because it has been stabilized. In that world, stability often means control. And once control is in place, freedom becomes harder to reach.